this hour on VTV News. National Assembly discussed funds for security defense projects. Transparency expected in supply and demand of gold trading. In interworld news, China wants to work with Arab states to resolve hotspot issues.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Hello, it's 8 a.m. local time in Hanoi, and you're watching VTV News. On the afternoon of May 30th, the National Assembly discussed a number of contents with differing opinions on the draft law on national defense, security, and industrial mobilization. More to follow.
Many members agreed on the necessity of developing the formation of an industrial defense and security fund as stipulated in the draft law to mobilize resources for national industrial development and security. This is to better facilitate urgent, strategic, and high-risk tasks.
The draft stimulates the most basic content of the fund, such as its purpose, source and inception, and operating principles. Based on the draft, the government is entrusted with details of the fund's establishment, management and use, and the responsibility to avoid overlap with other funds. Clause 1 clearly defines the purpose of the fund. I highly agree that this regulation is necessary.
Through reference to international experience, countries with developed defense industries have established financial funds to serve this field. The formation of a financial fund to support the state budget is a specific mechanism solution and a strategic approach, especially for projects regarding equipment of strategic significance.
Some National Assembly deputies also gave their opinions on selecting contractors for the investment program on the procurement of materials for national defense industrial production, as well as regulations on specific mechanisms for attracting talents.
There is a need to have special regulations for projects and programs identified as top secret.
I propose to arrange 3 groups of special policies in identifying job positions, salary and social insurance, and talent treatment.
At the discussion session, the National Assembly deputies also gave their opinions on regulations on military-industrial complexes and state investment in industrial mobilization. Previously, National Assembly deputies listened to the 2022 State Budget Finalization Report, State Budget Finalization Audit Report, and 2022 State Budget Finalization Verification Report.
State President To Lâm hosted a reception in Hanoi on May 30th for ambassadors and charge d'affaires of ASEAN countries and Timor-Leste who came to extend their congratulations on his elections as the Vietnamese state leader. More to follow.
On behalf of the guests, Lao Ambassador to Vietnam Kham Phao Eun Thavang extended congratulations and warm regards from leaders of Laos and other ASEAN countries to State President To Lâm. She hailed Vietnam's crucial and central role in strengthening ASEAN's unity, as well as shaping the ASEAN community vision beyond 2025 during its nearly 30 years of ASEAN membership. The diplomat believed that under the sound leadership of the state president, the friendship and cooperation between Vietnam and Southeast Asian countries will grow stronger and deeper, significantly contributing to regional peace, security, and stability. State President To Lâm, for his part, affirmed ASEAN's special position in Vietnam's foreign policy. He expressed belief that on the back of 6 decades of collaboration, ASEAN countries will continue to uphold the spirit of sharing and understanding, harmonizing the interests of their own and the region as a whole, and working together to address outstanding challenges at present. He also noted that Vietnam has successfully built strategic partnerships and comprehensive partnerships with all ASEAN members and affirmed a desire to see Timor-Leste soon become a full member of the ASEAN family. The Vietnamese state leader expressed his hope that diplomats will serve as an important bridge to boost friendly cooperation between Vietnam and Southeast Asian nations. He also hopes the countries build a united and strong ASEAN community for peace, stability, cooperation, and developments in the region and beyond.
The Standing Board of the Central Steering Committee on Prevention and Control of Corruption and Negative Phenomena convened a meeting to discuss and give opinions on results of several cases from the last 5 months. The committee acknowledged the drastic efforts undertaken throughout the period, especially in regard to strictly implementing the conclusions by Party General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng, who is head of the committee, and the committee's 25th session. The committee also discussed the progress of investigating and handling cases under its supervision and direction. Legal proceedings were initiated against 2,100 cases involving 4,211 defendants nationwide, as many as 2,030 cases involving 4,042 defendants prosecuted, and 3,198 defendants involved in 1,686 first-instance trials for offenses related to corruption, economic crimes, and abuse of power. Notably, 2 new cases involving 8 people under the oversight of the committee were prosecuted. The Vietnamese government will continue to support and facilitate cooperation between the finance ministries of Vietnam and Laos, Deputy Prime Minister Lê Minh Khai affirmed in Hanoi on May 30th. At a reception for visiting Laos Minister of Finance, Asante Phomevien, he said the Vietnamese party, state and people always prioritize consolidating and enhancing the great friendship, special solidarity, and comprehensive cooperation between the two countries. The Vietnamese leader said the collaboration between the two finance ministries has helped both countries fulfill their finance budget tasks and expressed his hope that they will continue working together to materialize agreements of the committee and their joint statements and agreements in particular, contributing to socio-economic development in each country. For his part, the Laos officials informed his host that the two sides have completed 80% of the plan set in their cooperation agreement, saying they will work harder to implement cooperation agreements and strengthen the time-honored friendship between the two countries. Deputy Prime Minister Trần Lưu Quang hosted a reception in Hanoi on May 30th for Chief Operation Officers of Denmark-based Lego Group, Carsten Rasmussen, who is on a working visit to Vietnam. At the event, Deputy Prime Minister Trần Lưu Quang affirmed that the Vietnamese government treasures and pays special attention to the Lego plant in the southern province of Bình Dương, which is built in line with the global development trend and one of important solutions for the country to concretize the net zero commitments it made at the 2021 UN Climate Change Conference, or COP26. Lego plants will be a standout example for Vietnam foreign investment attractions in the coming time, since it initiates a green production method that the country and the whole world are heading towards. Carsten Rasmussen thanked the Vietnamese government, ministry, sectors, and the locality for their support for Lego to develop its plant, which is 6th and first ever carbon neutral one in the world. Lego is working with Bình Dương province to build a solar energy farm to serve the plant, and it is expected to become operational on the outset of 2025. Investment projects and national target programs play a very important role in socio-economic development. Therefore, auditing and evaluating the effectiveness of these projects is necessary, especially from the early stages of these projects. More on the utility of audits in this next story.
After the audit, the component project of National Highway 45 Nghi Sơn section on the north-southeast route was required to clearly define responsibility for shortcomings and limitations right from the appraisal and approval of technical designs and estimates.
In recent times, the state audit has implemented a number of audit conclusions and also learned to manage state assets in a more transparent and clear manner.
The state audit has made financial management recommendations to projects with a combined capital of nearly 33,215 billion Vietnamese đồng over the past 10 years. Not only that, auditing activities have motivated agencies and units to make timely adjustments in management and administration, handling shortcomings and limitations to increase investment capital.
The auditing activities help us have reliable information to decide on major policy issues in the area and make appropriate adjustments. We can therefore review and make recommendations to the higher levels and specific policy mechanisms for Hanoi.
Auditing right from the early stages of key projects will also minimize losses and waste of state capital.
We set a requirement for a simplified yet high-quality audit plan, and when the state audit makes audit conclusions and recommendations, the audited unit must closely follow them.
Focusing on early auditing of key projects will help each dollar of public capital be used more effectively over the course of the project, helping key projects become a powerful driving force for development in the Vietnamese economy. It is then crucial the state recommendations are implemented.
Coming up next on VTV News. Transparency expected in supply and demand of gold trading. And first batch of 2024 crop lychee reaches Paris. At the end of May 30th trading session, the SJC gold price decreased by more than 2 million Vietnam dong per tael compared to the day before. And from the beginning of the next week, any person wishing to buy SJC gold can go to the branches of 4 state-owned commercial banks. Many people are wondering what the selling price will be and what is required for customers seeking to buy SJC gold at the 4 banks. More to follow.
From the beginning of next week, branches in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City of 4 state-owned commercial banks will sell SJC gold. Banks affirm that they will be able to meet the needs of all customers. The selling price will be unified between 4 banks and will be made public.
Commercial banks will come up with a price based on the purchase price from the state bank, plus minimum cost to determine the selling price for customers. We understand that this is a political mission to stabilize the domestic gold markets, and therefore, we won't set a profit target in these activities.
If profits aren't the goal, how does the state bank rely on world gold prices to set selling prices for commercial banks? If it is still as high as the current SJC gold price, it will be similar to recent gold auctions because it will not help reduce the difference of domestic prices with global prices. And if the selling price is significantly lower than the price announced by the SJC company, it will be difficult for the buyer to profit.
Gold businesses don't want to buy the gold issue because SJC gold is just like globally traded gold, but more expensive. It is said that the price of gold will change according to supply and demand, and the current price was inflated.
Recently, SJC company has regularly listed daily gold prices at about 18 million Vietnam dong per tael higher than the world's. Gold trading transactions through 4 state-owned commercial banks will help clearly determine the true supply to demand of the market.
We will be able to evaluate the reality of the amount of gold circulating in the markets. Hopefully, it will help reduce the lack of transparency in gold circulation and gold speculation.
From November last year to the end of February, while the world gold price stayed flat, the SJC gold price increased by nearly 13%. From April until now, world gold prices decreased by 1.7%, but SJC gold prices have increased by more than 3%. As of May 30th, SJC's price is about 18 million Vietnam dong per tael higher than the global price of gold.
On Wednesday, 2 tons of Vietnamese lychees went on store shelves in Paris to serve consumers and promote Vietnamese fruit. This comes as part of an effort by many Vietnamese organizations and business communities in France to promote Vietnamese goods to French consumers.
2 tons of fresh Thanh Hà lychees meeting global gap standards arrived at Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris on May the 28th, marking the first shipment of this year's crop.
This is the first time a Vietnamese fresh fruit product is exported to France directly via Vietnam Airlines. We seek to have more batches airlifted directly to France to ensure the fruit's freshness.
This year, lychees will be sold to VTV4 supermarket. This is thanks to persistent efforts by the Vietnamese business community in France.
In addition to selling at branches at VTV4, our company also plans to bring lychees to other stores in France. We'll bring goods into the wholesale distribution system through the Paris wholesale market. Assessing such wholesale markets will open up more opportunities for Vietnamese lychees.
The trade office and business community will intensify product introduction and promotion initiatives, helping Vietnamese goods reach more local customers.
In the first 5 months of this year, there were 7 products with export turnover of over $5 billion, accounting for more than 65% of the country's total export turnover. These are electronics, computers and components, phones and components, machinery, equipment, tools and spare parts, textiles, footwear, wood and wood products, transport vehicles and spare parts. The U.S. has maintained its position as Vietnam's largest export market since the beginning of the year, with an estimated turnover of $44 billion, followed by China and the EU. Quảng Ngãi and 28 other coastal provinces and cities have joined forces to fight illegal, unreported and unregulated IUU fishing. The Border Guard loudspeaker strategy is creating daily changes in the awareness and behavior of province fishing fleet. More in the following story.
On the roads, in the alleys, in the boat anchorage and fishing ports of Phu Thạch Ward, Đức Phổ Village, Quảng Ngãi Province, Border Guard soldiers carrying speakers on motorbikes broadcast information about legal regulations combating illegal IUU fishing. This has helped many fishing boat crews hear grabs and strictly complied with catch regulations.
We now fully understand the state's regulation and how to enforce them to remove the EC's yellow card. Otherwise, the squid of fish cannot be sold or exported.
The model is compactly equipped to go to every corner, alley and residential area. Over time, we will fully convey the legal content to the fishermen.
In addition to strengthening inspection and strict supervision of vessels going to the sea, the Border Guard of Quảng Ngãi Province deploys various means of promoting legal fishing activities to the fishing fleet.
The Border Guard gave me this keychain. If there is any problem, I can tell the authorities. I can call the authorities hotline.
The most important thing is to inform people about the content of the action program on combating IUU. Therefore, they understand and strictly comply with the law. We must both educate and inspect combat IUU fishing.
Quảng Ngãi Province has over 4,200 fishing boats registered in the National Fisheries Database. Fishing vessels of 50 meters or more are closely monitored through the Fisheries Monitoring System, which alerts the authorities to regulation violations and loss of connection with fishing vessels while they are at sea.
It is normal for parents to take pride in their children. However, posting your children's achievement online poses the risk of leaking their personal information. Furthermore, young people are vocalizing the effect that publicizing their achievements has on their mental health. More on this in the following story.
On the last days of the school year, children's high achievements flood social networks. This typically includes pictures of students receiving certificates of merit, displaying their proud achievements, but not all children are happy with their parents' posts.
Publicizing my achievements unintentionally put a lot of pressure on me. I'm afraid I can't get over or improve on my own achievements. I'm happy and proud of what I have achieved.
No one wants to be compared to others, whether they are better or not as good as the others. I think we all just want to be ourselves.
According to experts, it is understandable for parents to be proud and show off their children's academic results. However, this comes with many potential risks,
including personal information such as full name and class. Leaking information can lead to negative consequences if someone uses that information for malicious purposes. What's more is if these students do not achieve the desired results next time, parents will also be pressured because they will not have anything to post on social networks. From there, parents put more pressure on their children.
Instead of letting his parents show off his certificate of merit on social networks at the end of each school year, this boy takes the time to record what he did and did not do and share it with his parents.
In this report, in addition to achievements, there is also the process of how I achieved them, and there are also contributions from my family.
It's suggested that achievements at school can be analyzed amongst family. Not only does it allow recognition of a family's collective efforts, it can also be a more sustainable and supportive driving force for the next school year compared to publicizing all achievements.
Nearly 7.6 million international visitors have visited Vietnam in the first 5 months of this year, an increase of nearly 65% over the same period last year, exceeding pre-COVID-19 pandemic levels. This is thanks to favorable visa policies and tourism promotions. In May alone, number of international visitors reached nearly 1.4 million, a 1.5 times jump over the same period last year. The increased number of tourists also drove up the revenue of accommodations and food services in the first 5 months of this year by more than 15% over the same period, estimated at over $11.6 billion US. Localities with double-digit increases in revenue of this sector include Khánh Hòa, Quảng Ninh, Đà Nẵng, Hải Phòng, Hà Nội, and Cần Thơ. Coming up next in our world news, China wants to work with Arab states to resolve hotspot issues. And 4 arrested in largest ever operation against botnets. Chinese President Xi Jinping on Thursday said China is ready to work with the Arab side to put in place 5 cooperation framework to step up the building of a China-Arab community with a shared future. The Chinese president made the remarks as he delivered a keynote speech at the opening ceremony of the 10th Ministerial Conference of China-Arab States Cooperation Forum. He said China wants to work with Arab nations to resolve hotspot issues in ways conducive to upholding fairness, justice, and achieving long-term peace and stability. He also reiterated calls for establishment of an independent Palestinian state and promised more humanitarian aid for people in Gaza. According to the European Union Agency for Law Enforcement Cooperation, Europol, police arrested 4 people and took down 100 servers across Europe and North America in a major international anti-malware operation. Operation Endgame, which was carried out between May 27 and 29, was the largest ever operation against botnets, which play a major role in the deployment of ransomware. 3 Ukrainian nationals and 1 Armenian were arrested, and 8 fugitive suspects linked to the case have been added to Europe's most wanted list. The 2024 Artificial Intelligence AI for Good Global Summit began on Thursday in the Swiss capital of Geneva. The event aims to leverage AI to advance various global development priorities and control the risk. In her opening remarks, the head of the International Telecommunications Union, ITU, warned that a world with uncontrolled artificial intelligence will pose serious risks. She also said that the AI for Good Summit seeks to make the case for artificial intelligence to have resolved some of the world's biggest challenges, such as climate change, disease and hunger, and appeal for global community to work towards inclusive AI environments that respect the UN policies. The European Court of Auditors on Wednesday warned that the European Union is falling behind the United States in the race to develop artificial intelligence. The court conclusion points to three main reasons. The first, investment in artificial intelligence is not high enough, projects are not systematically managed, and cooperation in this field among member countries is still ineffective. More to follow.
The EU's auditors stressed a risk that is gradually becoming a reality. Not only is Europe failing to emerge as a world leader in artificial intelligence development, but European ideas in this field are also being absorbed by the US.
The artificial intelligence revolution is here, with many tools to enrich our lives. But artificial intelligence is also currently leading to power being gathered in the hands of a few companies.
All the major global AI technology companies are from the US, while the EU lacks notable contenders. Last December, the EU drew praise and criticism for passing the world's first rules to regulate AI. However, the bloc has failed to provide subsidies for businesses. In its report, the Court of Auditors faulted the European Commission for not carrying out plans established in 2018 to make the EU an AI leader. Between 2018 and 2020, the gap in overall investment into AI between the US and the EU more than doubled, with the EU trailing behind by more than $10.8 billion. The European Union is also different from the US in that it does not have a mechanism to monitor the effectiveness of public investment in private AI projects. Furthermore, there is no mechanism for contributions from each member country to establish large-scale projects.
And now, as usual, let's continue with the weather forecast. And that's it for this hour on VTV News. To rewatch our program, you can log on to VTVgo.vn or download our mobile application VTVgo. Thanks for watching and goodbye for now.